Gamers are the number one, they will be the biggest adopters of NFT technology.
For those people who aren't in the NFT community, why should they be interested? And tell us your insights on how the NFT community is growing right now.
What I learned as a result of being, a member of this space for a while is that, yeah, there's a lot of life-changing money that's circulating around, but it's so much bigger. It's so much bigger than just a financial incentive. And I think for folks who are from the outside looking in, there's a lot to be attracted by when it comes to monetary gain. However, I think there's more to understand in terms of the underlying technology. So I've been studying more so how blockchain works, right? And what it means to have NFTs, or really these digital assets, whether that be, people like to consider it just art right now, but it could be a multitude of things. We could look at documentation, contracts, artwork is one. Music is going to be a very interesting component to look at. Ticketing. I mean, there's just a lot of very, it's funny for me to say clear use cases, but I think from the outside looking in, maybe these are things that folks don't consider. The real estate market, for example, I don't see your deed being stored as a physical piece of paper anymore. The deed to your house will be an NFT, and when it comes time to sell that house, or you want to buy a house, you will be able to prove that you are in fact the owner of that household by showcasing your NFT for that house.
I love that you just brought that deed reference, because I just bought my first house.
No
And
shit! Hey! Congrats.
and the lawyer on closing day handed me a piece of paper, and he said, "Don't lose this. This is your deed. This is your contract to ownership. Do not lose it. This is the only copy." And it just made me think about NFTs and how, if this was a smart contract, if this was ledgerized, it would be
You wouldn't have to
unlosable.
worry about it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's an obvious.
I got into esports because for a long, long time, like many other people probably in our generation, they were raised playing video games. And for a long time, you were told that video games is pretty much a waste of time. There's no real value in spending a lot of your time trying to hone your craft, get better, be more competitive, whatever. And esports, the professional gaming atmosphere has since put that entire stigma on its head. And we saw that tremendously with the rise of games like League of Legends, Fortnite in particular.
There's coaches for esports.
Oh, absolutely. Yes, even the most professional players in the world are being coached. And again, I apologize if that's something that I consider to be common knowledge. But yes, for our audience here, there are on the world's biggest stages coaches sitting behind both teams that are going against each other, and the amount of money that revolves in that space. Fun fact, if you're looking at a team like 100 Thieves or Optic Gaming or FaZe Clan, those are probably like the three most notable esports organizations in the world. For any of them to have wanted to enter CDL, which is the Call of Duty professional league, a franchise spot just for you to compete against the other 12 teams. Franchise spot costs you about 25 mil.
Wow.
25 million. That is for you to enter the stage. That has nothing to do, like, that doesn't include your team, that doesn't include your coaches, your training, travel, lodging, equipment. there's a lot that goes into it, and that's again also without even considering content creation or apparel, and I guess what we consider the traditional pillars of an esports organization. That's where a lot of the money is being spent, in signing players, coaching them, strategizing, going to the IRL LAN tournaments. That's a local area network, LAN tournaments, and competing against each other. So, we'll see on a majors stage, Optic Gaming versus FaZe Clan in a game like Halo Infinite that just came out, and their professional league known as HCS, the Halo Championship Series. And like, for a lot of folks who were in esports, which was once known as MLG, Major League Gaming, about 10 to 15 years ago, to see these organizations that are about 10 years old, FaZe and Optic, go head to head in a game that they played 10 years ago, now again on a big screen, with all the attention around esports right now. I don't know. It's like a very inspiring feeling, kind of showing that there's opportunity for anyone that's willing to put in the work.
What's going on in esports, and what are the platforms and what are the trends going on right now? What do we need to know?
Sure. What do folks need to know about esports? Well, esports is demystifying like I said earlier, the word stigma, the stigma around if you play video games, you're wasting your time. Esports is now offering a new avenue for individuals to consider a professional career in the world of gaming. And for many, that sounds like a dream and perhaps too good to be true, but opportunities for these kind of things are popping up left and right every day. There's also the content pillar, and that's where we see people on Twitch, Facebook Gaming, YouTube, who are essentially live streaming any particular, like it could be a content around a particular game. So maybe they play a lot of Warzone, they play a lot of Halo, and they're kind of capturing their experiences, their training, whatever it is. Some people do podcasts live on Twitch. There's a lot of things that can be monetized in that pillar. And then lastly is apparel. So you want to represent the organization. That's also another stream of income for esports orgs. Offering a fan an NFT, that NFT could really become a multifaceted asset that gives that person more value outside of just saying, I'm a 100 Thieves fan, I'm an Optic Gaming fan. It's like, okay, you're that, but what do you have to show for it? At the very least, you know, assuming that NFTs get introduced into the space, which one of the things that I look to lead with Quezt Gaming. NFTs are largely still in their infancy, and we still have a long way to go before we see optimized or efficient use of blockchain. And that's where like chains like Solana are really attractive. Low, almost negligible gas fees and instant transaction completions, which is why we'll see a lot of gaming organizations maybe move that way, unless Ethereum could do something with their proof of stake on ETH 2.0. A lot of gamers, unfortunately, are what I call headline arguers. And this is true for, I guess I shouldn't even leave it specifically to gamers. This is true for almost 95% of the world. People read a headline, and then that's it. That is the extent of my knowledge. I will use that headline in absolutely every argument that I get in as it pertains to this topic. And while I could read the rest of the article, I'd rather not, because the headline tells me everything I need to say.
If there was one thing you could do to improve this world, what would you do and why?
One thing that I would do to improve the world of NFTs, or just like the world in general, like oh man, I would ask the world to ask better questions, to be more curious, to think more, to ask why more, to wonder more, to dream more. I just think that there's a lot of folks that take things at face value and they miss out on an opportunity to learn about, at the very least, like widen their perspective. I'm not saying that everything in life is going to be rainbows and sunshine. But you know, my pops told me, you know, show me the good, show me the bad, and then I'll make my choice from there. But no matter what, like the breadth of perspective, that's what I would ask. That's what I think would make things better, broadening your horizons. I'm proud of you, all the things that you do. I love capturing your content on Twitter when you ask these questions, by the way.
Yeah,
those are
like
good.
that?
Yeah, hell yeah. You're the question of the day. Absolutely. I look forward to that pretty much every day.
Really?
So,
Why?
yeah. Why? Because you ask really good questions and I reflect on it. I'm a very introspective person. I like to kind of refine myself as often as possible. And you ask very good questions that someone who is reflective would reflect on. So thank you for asking those questions.
My pleasure. That's the goal. That's the purpose of these questions, to hopefully inspire someone to reflect and think big. Great to see you, mi amigo. Nos hablamos pronto, ¿ok?
Dale, men, un abrazo.
Un abrazo, bye.